Today, the Reserve Bank will announce the repo rate. This comes after a two-day monetary policy meeting wrapping up today. The repo rate currently stands at 7% after it was left unchanged in November last year. The next MPC meeting is to be held in March this year. And joining us on the phone line is our ANN7 business editor, Clive Ramatubela-Smith. A very good morning to you, Clive. Thanks so much for joining us here on Morning Prime. The Monetary Committee, Policy Committee rather, has left the repo rate unchanged. Any expectations for the announcement today?
Thank you very much, and top of the morning to all the ANN7 viewers. Yes, Lauren, it's been a very tough start of the year for South Africa. Remember that in December we had some reports from the obviously the hawks of the financial sectors, that is rating agencies, and though we did kind of survive by the skin of our teeth, we're still seemingly starting the year where we have to focus again and re-challenge some of those rhetorics that have been sent out into understanding the financial or the economy of this country. And so the central bank plays a vital role in connecting all these parts of our economy and making sure that monetary policy is actually at the prime. And we've seen how inflation targeting has been worked about. The most important thing is to know that we do see that the inflation targeting, or the target, which is between 3 and 6%, is unfortunately out of the target band. The last report we got was that it's sitting at 6.8%. Now, a lot of commentators are saying that perhaps maybe it will remain the same and unchanged. However, I want to warn that that might just not be the case. Perhaps maybe the Reserve Bank might see this and say, listen, are we going to take the first step to curb inflation, or are we going to let things be and see what happens in the second quarter? And I can tell you right now, even though a lot of people are confident that, there's not going to be any changes to the repo rate, I tend to differ and believe that perhaps maybe they might think that this might be the start of the year. People are going to be starting again at the beginning. We're going to be scrutinized. And obviously those rating agencies are still on top of our heads. So they might just decide, even if it's not going to be too much, they might just increase the repo rate by 25 basis points.
Now, will the performance of the currency or international developments play any role in the factors that are taken into consideration when deciding on whether or not to change this repo rate?
Fundamentally, the principle by the central bank is twofold. Firstly, is to look at the current domestic conditions of the economy, particularly focusing on food price and inflations and such, which plays a vital role into affordability on the domestic front. However, one of the other things that they also look at is global intervention. We know that we've got a new United States president who's been talking about different policies economically. We know as well that in the Eurozone, we're sitting with a situation where we have Brexit, where Britain has voted to stay out of the EU. Ms. Theresa May has tried to explain how that's going to be happening, and so there's a little bit of confidence. The dollar as well seemingly has weakened following some of the comments made by Mr. Trump, and following his inauguration, it's at its lowest mark for the year. So the question is, will the Monetary Policy Committee realize all these factors? My answer to that is it's perhaps not, maybe because they would have discussed these things even earlier on, perhaps maybe by the end of last year. So the decision is probably already have been made to whether to hike or not. But importantly, those two things, which are currency, which has performed rather well, sitting currently at 13 rand and 51 cents against the US dollar, and also take into consideration the inflation, particularly food inflation, because we just came back from a very hefty drought, which we still haven't recovered from. So all those aspects will be taken into consideration during the meeting, and perhaps maybe the Monetary Policy Committee might just decide to leave things unchanged because of these fundamental issues that they have to tackle.